Go, Bowden.
Hanley at the line.
Holding up that position. There's no place I'd rather be.
Let's go, Bowden! Here we go, Bowden. Here we go, Bowden!
There you go. There you go.
And Bowden for Cal. Bowden Hanley, here he comes, the freshman from UW.
Huskies getting back into the picture.
He's right there, Bowden Hanley, a nice leg.
And Bowden Hanley from Washington, Jonathan Fraser and Bowden Hanley. And here comes Matthew Wilkinson.
What's up, YouTube? If you don't know me, my name is Bowden, and I run the 400 meter hurdles for the University of Washington. About 4 months ago now, I suffered a really traumatic knee injury. From then until now, it's just been the hardest period of my life. I've decided I want to make a video or a documentary documenting my experience trying to overcome this injury. For what feels like forever now, I've had to sit out of almost everything that I love doing. And even harder has been the mental battle of just constantly wondering how and when, and most importantly, if I'll ever be able to be the same as I once was. And you have no idea how grateful I am just to be able to bike right now. And so the reason I decided to make this video is because this has just been such a monumental challenge, and I think that being able to look back on this time in the future is going to give me a lot of strength. And I hope that maybe can give somebody else strength too, which is why you're seeing this. So yeah, that's about it. And since this is my first proper video, I figured I'd start with maybe a little rewind, let you get to know who I am and how I got to be where I am right now. Growing up, I had a great childhood. I was very active. I skied, biked, ran, played a lot of sports, basketball, flag football, but I truly loved soccer the most. It was a sport that I really fell in love with and kind of bred my competitiveness. I've always been incredibly competitive, obviously in sports, also in video games, and really any random competition.
Bowden Hanley memorized Pi for Pi Day 2016.
I think sometimes in the life I'm too competitive, you know. It's good to be competitive on the field, but sometimes in the life you don't need to be like this.
I to play soccer, and growing up in Eugene, Oregon, middle school track is a very popular thing to do, and I was good at it. We ran the 80 meter hurdles, and I was able to do it in 12.5 seconds. After that, I kind of went back to playing soccer. My main focus was on club soccer. When I got to high school, I played high school soccer, and I was planning on doing track in the spring, and I actually went to about a week of practices until COVID canceled spring sports and school. And so I didn't end up doing track my freshman year of high school. My sophomore year, again, I was planning on running track, but because of COVID again, soccer season got pushed all the way back to the spring. So there was a conflict between track and soccer, and I ended up playing soccer. Junior season, I played soccer again in the fall. I was still doing club soccer year-round, so I was like, I don't even think I'm gonna run track in the spring. I feel like my track days are just behind me at this point. But my mom convinced me to go out and just practice a couple times a week. So I did that, and I remembered why I love track. I remember how much fun it could be, and the potential for improvement that I saw in myself made track kind of an addictive thing. I wanted to see just how fast I could get. I had an okay season. I got faster with every race, and I ended up running like 40 flat. I got 7th in the state meet. I remember finishing that race and just thinking, okay, if I go all in on track, I can run really fast. My senior year, I actually committed to Colgate in New York, played soccer in the fall, had a good senior soccer season. I love all those boys. And then as soon as the season ended, I skied. And then I turned my focus to track to kind of get a longer training period than I'd ever had before. And it really paid off.
go my way. I pull up and come with a lot, this is enough to remember my face. I used to rap on the bus, my track got a mini fridge, we storing the drink. Whatever you need for us, we promise to read it. I know you put you on the way. I put a bitch in the ring, she doing whatever you said, cause back in the day, she wanted to twin and nothing but Lindsay. The bitch want the gang, you call her gang. Real pretty hard salute, you gather your troops. Around these waves get ranked. They got deja vu, I did this before. And y'all both have the same name. I bought that land for you, I barely had one of them. I know that drive you crazy. Dad said I changed, I feel it. Too slime, no bug ain't with me. Too slime, no pop in the stand. I'm God, I'm Satan on Zen. Niggas still do a track over Ben. We rich, come on, friends. They was here, we'll probably bump head. You ain't rich if it ain't got to your head. So your texting is better on red. I'm flexing, you better on dead. Niggas broke, can't back my fam.
Wait a minute, South Eugene just a little bit. Hanley, he's charging. He kind of was off a little bit. He took that with his non-dominant, but he's still running really well. He's staying open. He's back on his dominant now, Hanley.
Hanley, 38-18, at the Roseburg meet last week. He is your Oregon leader. And he's about to become your relays leader. Really change his steps there. And that opens the door. And then he comes back, but it is going to go to Hesaw.
Meters in the boys' 300-meter hurdle final. South Eugene's Bowden Hanley was in a tight battle with Jake Hesaw of Walla Walla. A photo finish, but heartbreak for Hanley. Just 2 1/1000ths of a second.
Keeps it pretty close.
South Eugene really gapped Lincoln, so I'm really curious if he can hold this. Because he gave a lot that first solid 150.
On a second.
Yes.
The axe will...
And I actually ended up decommitting from Colgate and talking to a few other schools. Initially, when I decommitted, I was thinking, I just want to go to Oregon. I want to be an Oregon Duck because Oregon is kind of the school that I grew up dreaming of going to. I was a sports fan growing up in Eugene, Oregon, and with no pro sports teams here, if you're born in Eugene and you're a sports fan, you're a diehard Duck, and that's what I was. But the hurdles coach at Washington, I ended up connecting with him, and we talked for a while. Logistically, Washington made a lot of sense. I had family close to there, and they were a team on the rise. They had just won a Pac-12 championship, and they had a lot of really good 400 hurdlers, which was something that Oregon did not have. So that, plus the academic advantage of Washington over the University of Oregon, kind of swayed me to leave home and go up north and run for the Huskies, which was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made. I took a nice break over the summer, and I showed up to the University of Washington hungry and ready to compete, and it was good. I had a good year. I loved the team. I really appreciated the facilities and the trainers and the weight room, and I liked my coach. I didn't run quite as fast as I would have hoped. I felt like, especially at the end of the season, I was in pretty good shape, and I just never was able to put a great 400 hurdle race together. But I couldn't be too upset, and the team took home the Pac-12 championship, so it was really cool to be a part of that. I did end up kind of feeling like I wish I had contributed more especially because I saw my roommate at the time, my fellow freshman, my training partner for the year, and he really had a breakout meet, and he ended up running 49 seconds in the 400-meter hurdles. So seeing that really inspired me to get to that level and train hard and be a guy that the team can count on for points at championship meets. Yeah, so I went into that summer pretty optimistic and pretty happy. And then when the fall came around and it was time to get back in shape, I was super hungry and I had a big plan to be great and to run 49. Yeah, I was very, very disciplined. I was eating well, sleeping well. I was training well, recovering well. I was doing supplemental exercises on my own, core, glute burners, working on my ankles, working on my hip flexibility, hip strength. Yeah, it paid off. I got quickly into probably close to the best shape I've ever been in. Hurdle form was drastically better. Then one day I decided to go climbing out with my teammates on a Sunday. And climbing is something I've probably taken 10,000 bouldering falls in my life. It's something I've done since a really young age. Dad got me into it. I've always thought it was just great cross training and pretty safe thing to do. You know, I was even on a competitive bouldering team in middle school for a little while. So I didn't view it as being dumb or anything, but anyways, on this day, I was trying this one route where you kind of had to run and jump up at the very start. On one of my attempts, I landed a little bit off balance, kind of leaning backwards on my left leg, and my knee caved in. I just heard a crunch, probably like 6 or 7 pops, all pretty loud consecutively. I just remember being on the ground, just scared, just so scared, and you know, everything had been taken away from me in that moment, and I really thought I might be crippled for life. I didn't even want to look at my leg. I thought it was going to be like all janky and off to the side and just dangling by a thread. But eventually I looked down at my leg and it looked kind of okay. And I kind of realized, all right, you know, people get really bad knee injuries all the time and they come back. I've seen some crazy stuff happen in football and basketball, and I've seen some good comebacks. So, you know, this is going to be hard. It's probably going to be a year, but it's nothing I can't do. So I kind of calmed myself down. I really fucked up my knee. It's not good. And I'm in the hospital here with Matt right now and the man, JB. Yeah, I got sent home a little early for winter break. I'm home now. I went to see Chris Melton first. It seems like I definitely fucked up my MCL. Like, it's fully torn, and maybe the ACL is torn too. Seems pretty likely. Everything hurts. My knee hurts so bad. It hurts to the touch. It hurts to move in pretty much any direction. I got a new brace. I've got some rehab. I've got about 10 degrees range of motion in my left knee right now. And still can't really put any weight on it either. It's gonna be a long journey. Chris said he thinks that if it's just the MCL and I do everything right, it's probably like 4 to 6 months. If it's the ACL and I need surgery, it could be up to like 12 months before I feel good again. At least I'm home. It's almost Thanksgiving. I got an MRI. It was a torn ACL, a torn MCL, torn meniscus, and some bone bruising. I really didn't know what any of that meant. I mean, the doctors kind of told me it's probably a 12-month injury and maybe a bit longer than that until I really feel like myself again. But I was ready to take on the challenge. At the very start of being injured, I was just kind of viewed it as another chance to prove myself. Just waiting for surgery, doing what little I can every day. I'm just going to try to do everything possible. My sleep right, nutrition right, my rehab. I'm just going to keep making progress because what a blessing it is to be able to run. And I have to get that back. It's 8 a.m., day of the surgery. Plan is to give me a new ACL, either with a quad tendon graft or patella tendon graft. Don't really know which we're gonna go for yet, but I think either will be fine. Reattach my MCL to the bone and extend it a little bit, and then also support it, fix up my meniscus as well. Never had surgery before, so I'm a little scared, but I think I'm in good hands and hopefully all goes well. So after the surgery, it went well, but my leg hurts so bad. Like the inside of my right Sorry, inside of my left knee. Just fucking hurts like a motherfucker. I'm icing and elevating. I'm also on Advil and Tylenol and OxyContin, but it's not enough. Leg just hurts so bad. Should get better in a couple days, but fuck. Sleeping has been really rough. I wake up every couple hours whenever the pain meds wear off because just my knee just hurts and it wakes me up in the middle of the night. So I haven't really been able to string together a full night of sleep or anything close to it. Luckily it's gotten a little better in the last few days. Yeah, just small improvements every day, and we're gonna get through this thing. I was really doing everything I could in the first 3 months after the surgery. It was the most pain I'd ever been through. I was stuck taking Oxy, and I really, even with the Oxy, I was still in immense pain, and I couldn't sleep at all. I didn't really feel confident getting myself to the bathroom and back at night, so I had to pee in a bottle for a while. It was honestly brutal, but there was no doubt in my mind that as soon as I was cleared by the doctor to kind of start doing some more rehab stuff, that I was gonna like just blow through it and get back really quickly. And once I got clearance, I was able to start bending my leg a little bit and doing some rehab. I was disciplined. I would do my rehab 3 times a day. It was very painful. You know, I was doing everything else as well. I was massaging my knee, red lighting it. I was taking creatine and protein and making sure I kept my quad firing. I'm 2 weeks and 1 day post-op. First update, I kind of have hair now. I've had a couple PT visits now, and I just went to see Tuman, who's the surgeon again, and he looked at my knee. I got all the tape off my knee, so the incisions are all healing well and looking good. The goals for now, hopefully to be accomplished by week 6, is to be able to bend my knee to 90 degrees is one, and then the other one is just get my quad strength back and hopefully be able to do a straight leg like lift, keep full extension of my knee, and try to just stay generally fit. So that's where I'm at. This stuff is still not very exciting, and it hurts like hell. So yeah, hopefully I'll get through it quickly. It's the new year. I'm hoping that this year is gonna bring me a hasty and, more importantly, complete rehab of my knee. Everything's been going all right. It's slow, but I'm making some progress. I feel like my range of motion and my quad strength are about back to where they were pre-surgery, but post-injury. Just getting better every day. Sleep has still been super hard. I'm just really bad at sleeping on my back. The brace definitely doesn't help either, so hopefully I'll be able to get that off soon. That's most of it. I'm trying to stay focused on the goals that are in front of me. It's really hard. Get to 90-degree flexion, get my quad stronger, you know, hopefully get walking in just a few weeks from now. It's tough to stay positive because just in the back of my head, there's still the long-term things I want to achieve. Hopefully making NCAA finals. It's just my subconscious is not letting go of those things, and I know I'm so far away from that, but I'm trying to stay focused on what I can control right now and keep chugging away at the rehab and making progress daily. I just had an appointment to see my surgeon, Dr. Truman. So he was saying that my MCL and my ACL are both pretty sturdy, which is good. Maybe even a little too stable, so I probably need a little bit more movement. I'm full weight bearing now, which is another thing that's kind of big. Also, I can sleep without the brace on, which is gonna be life-changing, honestly, because I fucking hate the brace. About 90 degrees range of motion right now, which is fine, but could be better. The scar tissue is just kind of really a lot, and I've been pushing it in PT, but it's just really slow progress. It's hard to break up. My physical therapist, David, is gonna have to just crank on my knee and just hurt me so that I can get full range of motion back. So that's not gonna be very fun. Probably gonna start doing some BFR training to get my quad stronger and some squats and stuff, and start working towards being able to walk again. I have like major atrophy in my quad, so it's super weak right now. Gotta start getting some of that strength back. But I think the main focus is work through some of the stiffness and unlock some range of motion. I'm going back to see him in 4 weeks, and the goal is get to 120 degrees range of motion in 4 weeks. So that's almost 10 degrees a week, which is gonna be really tough. So I just gotta go crazy, just fucking crank on my knee. If I get too stiff and I'm just not making progress on my range of motion, it's not happening, we might have to go do another surgery to remove the scar tissue manually from my knee, which I would kind of hate. I really don't want to do another surgery. If that has to happen, it's not the end of the world. It's common, so do what I can to avoid that, make it work with just the one surgery, but we'll see. Kind of got the green light now on a lot more rehab, so it's time to just go at it and see what I can make happen, you know. And there's no more limitations on me. It's up to me to get back to my normal self. Today was my first day with the updated PT regimen. Kind of my first day on my feet in a long time. In 61 days is the first day I've walked, so I knew there was a lot of quad atrophy going on. Like, I could see my legs shrinking, obviously, and you know, I could kind of feel how weak it was, but I didn't really have any way to test it because I wasn't really allowed to fully weight my left foot until the last couple days, and I was able to surprise myself in a couple of things, which, you know, one, I'm kind of able to walk, which I thought might take some time, so it's pretty hard. I really have to focus, and it's not a very natural gait, but being able to walk is good, and the more I do it, the more comfortable it'll be. And another thing, which I was surprised to be able to do, is I can kind of go up the stairs on my own. It takes like all my focus and full effort to be able to push myself up on my left leg to get up the stairs, but I was happy to be able to do that as well. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep going at it, keep working on the range of motion, and hopefully things will take care of themselves in the long run. Earlier today, I did some BFR, some cupping, worked on my range of motion and quad strength. Yesterday I had acupuncture or dry needling, and they like ran stim through my leg. This one needle that stuck in my groin just shocked my whole system. The inside of my thigh is still really, really sore. The expectation is that I'm making progress in my range of motion, and it's happening, but like really slowly. Like maybe I'm at like 95 degrees range of motion right now. I should probably be at 105, 110 at this point. It's just frustrating because I'm doing so much, you know. I'm going to the pool every day and doing range of motion in the pool. I'm working hard in PT. Truthfully, I'm just feel like I'm running out of steam. Like, I should be so much more motivated than I am, but 2 months into this thing, and it's just hard to stay on it. I just have a tough time bringing myself to do my PT, even to do other things too, like to fucking do my homework or even brush my teeth. It's all a chore. Like, I just have no motivation from life at all right now. That has to change, because if my mind's not in it, then my body's not gonna want to heal either. So I gotta turn things around, but I thought I would let you all know how I've been doing, and hopefully I can see a breakthrough here soon. Once I came back to Washington, the trainers looked at my knee. They were really worried about how stiff it was, and my extension was poor, and my flexion wasn't super great either. I'm back in Seattle now. It was really nice to see some of my teammates and coaches, and some of them were really happy to see me, so that was pretty uplifting. Saw Chris, and we've got a plan for moving forward. Been sitting in the training room like 4+ hours. Yeah, just working it. Just done a lot of extension because Chris was a little concerned with my extension, but it just wasn't extending or hyperextending like it should. And so I've been hitting that hard, and it's gotten a little better, but it's still not easy. Also doing some quad stuff with the stim, some bending, of course, like the wall slides to get my range of motion up for flexion. I think it's possible I'll need a second surgery, just because my flexion hasn't really improved much in the last 3 weeks, despite like a lot of work. Like, I've been pushing it harder than ever, and it just hasn't really responded at all. So it's possible I'll need a surgery to get my knee moving a little better. And obviously I don't want that. Like, I'm gonna work as hard as I can, and hopefully I'll see the improvement that means that I won't need that. But if it comes to that, I'm gonna view it as a positive and view it as an opportunity for me to take a step forward and, you know, improve my range of motion and my quality of life, and just get closer to being back. I just watched the Washington men's DMR team break a world record, which is pretty exciting. I'm a little jealous because I think that I had a chance to be on the team as a 400 leg if I hadn't gotten hurt, but obviously super stoked for my teammates, and all I can do is just hope that I can earn my spot on that team next year, and we'll do even better. For probably about 3 weeks there, all I did was just heat my knee up, prop it, put weights on it, and just try to force it into extension the best I could. I was doing prone hangs with weights hanging off my ankles and heel props with weights on my knees. There's so many sessions of this, and this is probably the most painful time apart from right after the surgery. And I was just in an absolute mental funk. I felt like I was going nowhere, making no progress, and that I was just genuinely screwed. I was having more and more doubts about whether I'd ever be the same. In the morning, I go see my surgeon, Tuman, again. His goal for me at this point was to have 120 degrees range of motion, and I'm sitting at about 95 still. You know, when I got to Seattle, Chris was pretty concerned about my extension, so I was just working really hard on extension for a few weeks, and eventually it got to the point where, you know, I wasn't really seeing any improvement, despite, you know, just putting myself through the work every day and just embracing the pain. It just wasn't really making any gains, wasn't really being rewarded. And so Chris kind of told me, like, hey man, it seems likely you're gonna need another surgery. It's just a new feeling, man. It's like, obviously when I was healthy, there were times when I was working out and I wasn't getting much faster, but you know, I always in my gut, I had a feeling that if I kept putting work in, I was gonna see improvements and everything was all gonna work out. And this is really the first time in my life that I don't really feel that way. It's just not a good feeling. It's like I have a lot of doubt. You know, I don't really trust that I'm gonna improve, because I'm not seeing it happen. And you know, that's just the hardest thing ever. So I'm pretty optimistic about the second surgery, because I have to be, because at this point it's all I have. So we're gonna get the surgery done, and hopefully that'll give me a boost, and then from there I can unlock my full extension again, and maybe get some better flexion as well, and then start getting my quad back finally. I'm gonna get it, and then I'm gonna work harder than I ever have again. But yeah, it just fucking sucks. I was really trying to make it so I wouldn't need a second surgery, and to just be banging my head against the wall day after day and getting nothing from it is really, really tough. And with the surgeon, and some good, some bad. So I kind of told him about my concerns with the extension that I'm getting in my leg, and it's not symmetrical, and it's not quite what my right leg is. And the surgeon was like, yeah, it makes sense that my knee's stiff. He said he's not surprised at all that my knee is really stiff, and it's definitely a problem though. He's gonna set me up, and we're gonna do the arthroscopy this Wednesday, so 2 days from now, and he's gonna do some light bending of my knee while I'm under as well, to just kind of try to get me some extra range of motion. And then right afterwards, I'm hopping on the CPM machine and then just hitting rehab super hard for 5 days afterwards. So yeah, that's good. He did say that I might never actually be fully symmetrical. I was kind of like, is that going to be like a problem with me running and hurdling? And he was like, yeah, it could potentially be a problem. And then he kind of followed that up by saying, you know, just like setting some expectations and making sure my hopes weren't too high. He kind of said, you know, everyone's going to do the best they can, and including yourself, to get you back to a level that you're happy with, which, you know, a level that I'm happy with. I don't know what he thinks I'm happy with, but I want to be faster than I was before. And he kind of said, you know, like, we're gonna try to get you as fast as you were before, but you know, there's obviously no guarantees. And like, your knee injury was really, really bad. Like, it's not a standard, you know, ACL with an MCL sprain or anything. Like, it's really, really bad. And it's not a guarantee that I'm gonna come back the same. So yeah, don't I guess don't get too hopeful, but I just got to control the controllables. But to hear the guy that knows the most about my knee, that's seen the inside of my knee, tell me, you know, like, it's worse than you think it is, and you know, no guarantees you'll ever be the same, is it's not really an easy thing to hear when I'm working so hard, and it just means so much to me being able to compete. So yeah, but I'm gonna keep working on extension and flexion as we do, and I'll probably do a little bit of quad strength as well. And yeah, it's good that I'm getting the surgery. I think it's going to be helpful. Just got the arthroscopy surgery in my knee, and I've been pretty happy. I've been pretty excited because they were able to find a lot of scar tissue and remove a lot of scar tissue from my knee, which is great news because it was kind of stopping me from getting range of motion, which was really frustrating. And you know, I was nervous that it was something else that was stopping me and not scar tissue, and that the surgery would kind of be done in vain. But we did the surgery and they found a lot of scar tissue and they got it all out, which is great. And immediately after, I had a lot more range of motion. You know, I maxed out the CPM machine quite quickly, and I was able to get my feet around the bike pedals, which is, you know, it's exciting for me. Today's the first day I've been back in Seattle, and I talked to Chris, and we were mostly focused on getting my extension back still, because that just needs to happen, and it's urgent because this is kind of the window where my knee is pliable. You know, I just had surgery like 5 days ago, so we can make changes. But, you know, previously, while the Cyclops lesion in the front of my knee was kind of preventing me from extending my knee fully, now that it's gone, I feel like I have a lot of tension in the back of my knee, just kind of like the back of my knee area where like the hamstring and the calf meat is just crazy tight. Today we just stretched it out however we could. We did a hang, like a heel prop that was weighted, and then we did a prone hang and weighted the prone hang. And those are hard. Obviously, they're very uncomfortable. But after all that, Chris kind of jammed my foot into extension. He like pinned my knee down and tugged on my foot to see if I could kind of get a little bit of extension that kind of matches my right leg. It went pretty well. He was able to move my leg pretty well. But holy shit, it was the most painful thing I've experienced in a really, really long time. Man, I couldn't really speak for a little while after that. And just knowing I'm gonna have to do that every single day for a couple weeks and focus on doing the rest of the stuff that I need to do today. And then tomorrow, I'll think about what I have to do tomorrow, and I'm just going to try my best not to think about what if it doesn't go right. Yeah, hopefully it'll get to the point where I can fully extend my knee using my quad without using my hands and it not be painful. It seems really far away right now, but I'm going to work as hard as I can, and this has just been like the fucking worst month of my life by far. So yeah, I'm just gonna go torture myself some more, and hopefully we'll see some wins in the next week or two. And if that happens, then I can at least have some confidence that I'll be able to make a full recovery. It's been kind of hard. You know, at first I was really excited with my new range of motion and, you know, the reduced size of my knee. And then I kind of realized, like, you know, this is not a magic instant fix. Like, there's still a lot of work to do. Once I got back here and touched base with the athletic trainers, we kind of made a plan to continue working on extension and make sure I get that sorted and right before we move on. So I've been doing a lot of extension, and my knee's actually been responding a little bit. You know, the exercises are getting easier. my knee's getting a little bit better extension, a little bit faster than it was before. So I'm gonna stick with that. And hopefully I'll have normal extension in another week or so. My grandma and grandpa came and they helped me get a bike in my house, so I'm gonna be biking all the time now, just to stay fit and keep blood flow in my legs and keep me sane. You know, I'll be able to move a little bit. Yeah, I've got a follow-up appointment on the 12th with one of the doctors here to see how I'm doing, and pretty excited for that. I think I'm doing well. I've been doing a lot of quad strengthening stuff. I haven't exactly noticed results or increased size in my quads, but I think pretty soon, if I stick with it, I'll get there, because I've been working pretty hard at that. So I kind of got myself into a horrible sleep schedule where I would just stay up late doing rehab, wake up early and go lift and do more rehab, and then sleep in during the day. It was really an unhealthy cycle and super bad for my mental, but I was still chipping away at the rehab and getting my schoolwork done. As hard as it was, that kind of brings me to where I am now. I just got home for the summer. I finished my last of my finals. I also started trying to teach myself how to make video games just for fun as a project. So now that summer's here, my goals are to do a boatload of rehab, just hours and hours every day, eat well, sleep well, bike a lot, hard, and hopefully that's something I can do with my friends while I'm here. Maybe continue to learn to make video games. I still have huge goals. I still want to run under 50 in the 400 hurdles. You know, I want to be All-American. I've been at quite a low point, but I have this summer to try to get my life back. Just got home for the summer. I've finally started lifting some weight. I had a PT session today, and I got strength tested. And the good news is that my right leg is still pretty strong. And the bad news is my left leg is 20% as strong as my right leg is. So there's a 77.6% deficit in strength between the two legs. The hamstring strength, the deficit is a little bit better, but it's still really bad. So a long way to go. But I think finally headed in the right direction. And I'm glad it's summer. Had the first day at this kids track camp today, coaching, so that was pretty fun. And yeah, hopefully I can keep improving and grow my left leg and get it a little bit less painful and get back to running and jumping pretty soon. Just got back from a meeting with Tumen. We discussed a few things. We discussed swelling, difficulty maintaining extension, difficulty activating my quad. Kind of went in a little bit bummed out. I've been kind of comparing my own knee injury to the knee injuries of others, and I just feel like I'm a little bit behind schedule, and I would like to be running by now and doing some other things that I'm not able to do currently. And he kind of reminded me that my surgery took an hour and a half longer than expected, and the MCL was obliterated, and they really had to go digging for pieces before they could reconstruct it. And when you have a lot of damage to the MCL or the inside of the knee area, the whole knee gets way more stiff after surgery. So it's not unexpected that it's difficult for me to get extension and that I have a lot of scarring. And he told me to keep at it and that I'm not comparing apples to apples. He also told me that he never really expected me to be back before 12 months. And he knew it was a 12-month plus recovery. I'm only really about halfway there. School is about to start. I'm back in Seattle. I've got new roommates.
We got Aiden Dennis, dog. Dodie Devon, dog. Sir Hale, dog.
I just had my 3rd knee surgery, so we did another lysis of adhesion surgery just to get my knee moving a little bit better and try to get full extension once again. It's been a week and 4 days since that surgery, and my knee's feeling pretty good. My extension is nearly even. It's about 1 to 2 degrees off. My flexion is about 135 degrees. So that's like 10 degrees off my good leg. I feel good sometimes, bad sometimes. I'm just tired. It's just now been over a year since my injury happened. About 3 weeks ago, I had a strength test with the goal of getting my left quad about 70% the strength of my right quad in order for me to be cleared to start running on the boost treadmill, doing some running and some jumping exercises. And I did the strength test, and the result was that my left quad is 54% the strength of my right quad. So I'm gonna try again in a few weeks. I've been going way harder in the weight room. I've been doing weighted single leg extensions and single leg squats and wall sits and lunges and reverse lunges with weight. So yeah, I'm getting stronger. Rehab's been hard, my knee's been hurting a lot, and it's been taking more and more time. But it's good. I feel like kind of somewhat of an athlete again. And it's just about Thanksgiving break now, so I'm gonna see my family tomorrow, and that will be super nice. Get motivated to finish out the quarter strong. Hopefully when I retest, my left quad will be at 70%, and then I can start running again, and that would really change my life. I mean, it's gonna be a long time until I really feel good and without pain, and you know, who knows if I'll ever actually feel symmetrical or not. But yeah, the progress has been nice. Hey, thought I'd give a little update again. So, just got home for winter break. Right before I left, I had another strength test that went pretty well. I mean, I saw improvements. It was only a month since my last strength test, and I improved like about 7%. So I'm at like 60 to 62% of my right leg strength with my left, which is solid, but it's not good enough to get on the boost yet, which is a little disappointing. Also, right when I got home, I got kind of sick, so I've kind of been just laying low for a few days. I've been doing a bit of rehab and some mobility, but not been able to kind of keep the same intensity that I had while I was at school, just because my nose has been super stuffed and my throat has been hurting. But it's been nice to be around my family, and I've been playing the ukulele a lot, shooting some hoops with my dad. I think it's good to give my quad tendon some time to chill out as well, because it's been pretty inflamed lately. So hopefully when I go back to doing some of the harder rehab, it won't hurt quite as bad. I really hope I'll nail the strength test mid-January and be able to get to jogging by then. Today is my 21st birthday. It's been a pretty good day. I had a lot of people reach out to me, so that's been nice. You know, I haven't really recorded a lot of rehab or anything in the past like 6 months, partially because I don't really like to film in the team training room or the team weight room, but also partially because I've just been like kind of angry and sad and not really in a good mood when I'm doing rehab, just because stuff hasn't really gone super smooth for me throughout the whole recovery process. But I'm still doing everything I can and working every day to get back, because I really have nothing to look forward to in my life until I can be free to be active again and run and jump and play. You know, I'm 21 now. I haven't been able-bodied since I was 19, so that's a long time. It's like a majority of my adult life. So I just gotta keep going, and I pray that the rehab pays off, and one day I can not even have to think about my knee. It's February 4th at 12:57 a.m. and I have to be kind of quiet because I can't wake my roommates up right now. But look what I just found out that I can do.
Hai perso tutto, non hai niente. Hai perso pure